Good afternoon, YouTube. This is your man always, George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Well, folks, they are just about to start the women's physique division. They're going to probably go with masters first because usually that's what they do with all the other divisions. They went with masters first. So right now, I am just watching it. They just right now setting up. You know, uh, we should have our first competitors coming out. Usually, give them a second. Some stuff's going on. There might be some technical issues. Let's see. Yes, and we already have. They have put up the Masters Women's class first. I see they have Tracy Guile. She's in this first line. This is just the start line. This is how to go by the number of competitors competing in the division. You know, and we'll do this, folks. I'm gonna show you a quick little clip. I can't show you everything because you know how you gotta be careful with social media, especially on some of these platforms. They kind of don't like too often for people to show their stuff. So this is a little insert here, and go to it quick. There we go. These are the ladies here. And this is just the ladies start out the Masters. Just saw years ago Christina Driscoll. This is a pro debut. Now, I'm not going to show you all of it. I'm just going to show you a good bit of it. And here also the other ladies are from the Masters. You can see you have Renee Reef, Blanca Sales, Carol Ung. Also, there's Trish Wood. And that's the lady from Mexico. I forget her name. Nina. So those are some of the ladies from the Masters class. So right now they're just doing the whole group posing where you get all the ladies in all the ladies in that particular category. There was the first set of ladies was the first call out. Then the ladies are showing now is the second call out. So right now the second call out, the call outs are just right now they don't really pinpoint who's going to win the division just yet. That's not till later on. And and looks of it from this looks like Blanca's in the middle. So because there's only I think it's like at least 10 women doing the Masters 40 plus in physique, and then they're sort out who's the ones who's going to be be part of the first call out. This is just a start, and then they come back again and they set up for the first call out. So the ladies are done. Let's see, here looks something.
Number 31, Paulina Bonifaz from Mexico.
Paulina Bonifaz from Mexico. Yeah, I think she's supposed to do a couple of shows. I think she dropped out of one, if I remember. So you don't recognize her. I'm gonna pull up real quick. I'm not going to show the whole thing because you know how it is. Got to be really extra careful when you're dealing with YouTube. So here she is. This is her. Press physique. Good condition from the back. Looks pretty good. I mean, let's see how well she does. She's first in the list because they go by a particular order. They go by who's first in the list first, then who's next. Next up we have is Natalia Bastrova from Russia, and if the name's familiar, she's 57 years old. It's 57 years old. You wouldn't think she was 57. You would think she was maybe in her 50s, maybe in her 40s. But based on physique, she maintains a great physique and great level of muscle. At 57, this is one of the other things she did was the Masters Olympia, which was last month. So next up we have here, this is mostly doing Masters right now, is Crystal Christine Driscoll. As you know, I interviewed Miss Driscoll, last year. No, actually, last year, a couple years ago, when that's when she, got her pro card at, I think it was like maybe the year after she got a pro card at, what's the face, at the Olympia when it was in Orlando in 2023. This is going to be her. This is her pro debut. Gotta give a shout out. All right, guys, who's your favorites? Tell me in the comment section. Uh, Next up, this is still Masters 40. Is Tracy Guile. Shout out to Tracy. Tracy. She announced that she was doing this show on my channel last month. Her and Trish. Tracy looks really good. I mean, maybe just need coming just a little bit tighter. I know she has come on from Australia to compete in this show, and she did pretty good in her pro debut last year. Remember she got a pro card because there wasn't a lot of pro cards in Australia, and she made top 3 at the Masters Olympia. But I feel like she's not as conditioned she was last year. Maybe I don't know. I hope she thinks about taking next year off and maybe bring the We have here one Miss Dolly. Hello, Miss Dolly. Don't want to mess up her name. This lady's been competing for quite some time. I think this is the only show she's done this year because I haven't seen any other shows. She's doing both Open and Masters, and that's Kelly, ladies. You shouldn't just limit yourself just to doing just exclusively Masters. I know some ladies will say they like to use the excuse that, oh, I'm much older. I don't want to be, up against girls who might be younger than me. But there's amazing women who still look good for their age, and she looks amazing. Next up, we have here I believe this is Natalie Miller. This is Natalie's pro debut. And I forget she's over 40. And remember I interviewed her last year. Was it last year? Yeah, it was no. Was it last year? Yeah, it was last year. And she got her pro card at Nationals in both women's bodybuilding and physique. She won the overall in both divisions, if I remember, because in women's bodybuilding there was only 5 competitors, and she was the only one to win the pro card because, like I said, there was only 5 competitors for that show, and Natalie was the only one to get a pro card. So she has good physique. I think maybe if you look at the figure division now, if she don't put more size, I think figure probably a good division to go to. We have here Kara I interviewed her early this year. This is when she made her debut as a pro at the the Emerald Cup. She also did the most recently she did the what's the face? The world Masters World Championship. She's from Singapore. One of the I think only female bodybuilders, I would say physique competitors out of Singapore. Press physique, good detail. I mean, she's maintaining her own. I know she likes to do some more shows here in the States because there's more opportunities for her. And she looks really good. I like the suit. I was talking with her and I said, you know what, while you're in Arizona, do some photo sessions. Because I remember she sent me some pictures when she was at what's the face? Also, we have here is Renee Reef. Renee Reef. I'm gonna go by her first part of her name is. I interviewed her a while back. Haven't been too much contact with Renee. This is the first show she's done for the season. She hadn't done anything else since. So it's kind of I don't know. I know she's from the Detroit area, but she has been kind of inactive a little bit this year. Some ladies have been doing some shows here and there, but this is the first. I think it's the first and probably the last show she's going to do for the season. That's the thing is, ladies, you have to be active. Next up, we have here Blanca Rodriguez. and she looks great. She did Texas, um, just last month. Blanca was really good. Recently she moved to Vegas. She lives in Nevada now, and I felt like she was gonna do the show because it's close. I mean, closer than Florida, you know, to do the show. She looks great. I think she didn't do as well in Texas as I thought she would. I hope she does well at this show. I've also interviewed Blanca. David's a big fan of hers. He's been a guest on the channel a couple of times. She's good shape. She's really has grown. I know she's been working with Christina Mendoza with opposing, and I think she's been training with a couple other ladies, and because there's a lot of ladies in Nevada right there, not a lot of ladies in Vegas. So she's working with Susan Graham, you know, and she last competed. And we have here is Nina Sandoval, and this is going to be her pro debut. And she's on the shorter side, small little woman, impressive physique. Like I said again, it's tough to compete with these bigger women. There are some women who are huge. Got some giants here in women's physique division, and you can return your own. That's good. I think there's another one of our fellow Mexicans, as you know. You saw my video just earlier today. I posted that Carol Torres Cruz is doing the show in Germany. That's going to come tomorrow. I mean, why not do this show? It's closer. But my guess, she feels that it might be, I don't know. It's too stacked of a lineup. I think that's the thing is, I think it's maybe too stacked of a lineup for her, and she felt like it'd be easier to do a show in Germany, where you have maybe a better chance depending on who's going to be there. And this lady who's there might give her a run for money, so she might get a qualification. Next up is another lady who's been a guest on my channel, and she also made an announcement that she's doing a show. Is lovely Miss Trish Wood. Miss Wood, just like Tracy, she also did the Masters O. Personal lady, she's been Olympian before, back in 2020, took some break. She hadn't competed a while. About a couple years ago, I reached out for an interview. We talked, She's been a guest on my channel a couple of times for panels, and also she's been a guest on my man Jeremy's channel too. She's a great person, great personality. I know she did, I think she did fairly well when she went to Japan last month. But she's still a impressive lady. I mean, this could, depending how the judges go, this could be a chance for her to get to the Masters O again. So right now they are coming out, and this is when they do kind of like they're going to do like a quick, because they're just doing right now. This is doing Masters first, so they're going to do the first call outs. This is really what they call the first call outs, where they pick the competitors who are going to vie for the top 5 spots. And I'll give you see. So first person to call out, you get Tracy, you got Dolly, you got Natalia, Blanca, and Trish. So they have the cinnamon right. Also Nina. So a little bit need to put maybe it's switching. So Blanca is getting into Tracy is switching over Blanca and Natalia, and just switch so it look like Tracy gets the center. We'll pull it up over here. That means if you got the center, that means she's winning. She's gonna win. She's possibly gonna win. Can you show the calls? I'm about to show it to you, brother. Give me a sec. So here it is. Quickly the call outs. Tracy's in the center. Looks like Natalia might get second, and Miss Dolly might get third. And I'm surprised that they put Blanca out that far out. I mean, to me, she should have been a top 3. Trish probably gonna get maybe 4th, and Blanca might get 5th, and that leaves the other lady probably 6th. So this is the first call out right here. So it looks like Tracy might get the qualification for the Masters O. And very impressive. I'm not playing any music because gotta be careful with music. You can play video, but not too much music. I can't be on here too long, guys. But that's the first call outs for Masters Women's Physique 40. So, and then we'll wait to see Well, whoever's left, because it's full 6 ladies, whoever's left is going to be the ladies competing for the seventh for the rest of the spot in the top 10, which is all. I think it's already just 10 ladies, so just 4 ladies left. So we already know. From the list, we already know who they are. But all ladies were very good. Froze up a little bit here. You're still posing. I feel like, you know, yeah, from the looks of it. So they're doing abdominal thigh. I feel Tracy, I think, needs her abs is not like it's, I don't know. She like she's holding a bit of water in the midsection. So yeah. So if wait, now this is for the rest. I think this is just for who's left. So I think this is probably for who's gonna get top 5. This is technically, I think it's kind of like second call outs. You know, yeah, I agree with you, Hank. I agree with you, Hank. He says this. Hank says out to Hank. Hank the Tank says, "Yeah, it looks like Tracy's winning Masters. I'm surprised Blanca is on the outside." Yes, Blanca. Yeah, I'm surprised by Blanca. She looks like she should be doing a little better. You know, this is right now. I'm gonna pull this up here. These are the ladies probably competing for the finish up the top 10. And you see they took out Natalia and Tracy, brought in Gloria Performance. So that's these are ladies who are competing for to finish at the top 10. Who's going to probably get, I think how to do it, who's going to probably get 7th place. It looks like right here, Miss Dolly, she might get, and again, they moved Blanca out. Wow. So that means that Blanca might get 7th place. Shit. That's from the looks of it. Wow. Mm. Mm. And then I think they're just going to bring out the ladies that are left over. That is Christina, Renee, Carol, Natalie, and yeah, these are the ladies left. This is technically, as they call it, third call outs. And it's just Natalie, they just swapped out. They both, so they're putting Carol a little higher, and they put Christine kind of out a bit. So these are the ladies is left of the Masters. This is a third call out. So they're gonna finish off the rest of I think it's 11 ladies. Yeah, 11. So so I think possibly either Christine Driscoll is going to probably be 11th, meaning making Natalie probably 10th, and I think 8th and 9th is going to be Renee and Carol. So that's how it looks. I mean, rest of So right now it won't be long before they switch open to the open women. And we have a showdown. Yeah, I thought it was done. So they're doing a showdown. We have Blanca. I'm sorry. We have Tracy versus Natalia. We have Russia versus Australia. Both ladies are very impressive. So this is possibly who's going to be in first place. Usually they just end, that's it. But my guess they really want to see who has the better conditioning. And I think, I honestly think that Natalia is edging out Tracy just by a slim bit. because Tracy looks like she's in good shape, but like I think she's holding maybe a little water in the midsection. She's not as popping. You know, like I said, this is me critiquing, and like I said, I'm a fan of Tracy. She's been a guest, and also I follow Natalia. She's often responding to my stuff. I mean, I love doing interview with her, but instead again, you lose something in translation. Because she's Russian and she has other friends that are translator, her friend Alex. You lose something in translation when you do in interviews. You can't have the good banter. We talk with someone with English. Some people get the little little quirks and trims and little things I do. You know. So this the end of women's physique masters. Now you're gonna start with the open. It's pretty much some of the same ladies from that class. They're just gonna rush them through because I think one lady who was in this is first. Then I think next up is see, I'm just waiting. See, oh, excuse me. So we're just waiting. It's just ladies who the masters are in the masters part. They usually like pretty much a good number of ladies are doing the masters, also doing the open. So they're probably going to rush them through. We're just waiting for the first person to come out. And I know who it is, so I'm not going to show her because she already seen her. Or they're going to show, or they're going to just skip over her because she already showed her masters and go ahead to the person who's next on the list.
After that, November 8th and 9th, is the next Wings of Strength qualifier in Romania.
Do a little talking. Let's do some talking right now. I'm just waiting to see who's coming out. Just getting all the other competitors ready. I see you might be doing like this. They're probably just gonna like some of the ladies who already did the masters part. They're gonna rush them through because they're on the list, but they're just gonna rush them through, and then they just do the comparison part. When they do the mandatory comparison, and then pick the ones who's gonna do the call of the call outs. So we're just waiting here. Anyway, folks, I hope you're enjoying your weekend. Not much of me. Well, I just, like I said, been here at the house working on some stuff. It's also on Monday, I'm going to have a discussion panel. If we talk about what is the future of women's bodybuilding now that the format has changed for the Rising Phoenix. So I invited some guests. I hope they can make it. If not, it's just going to be, my shout out to my man KO, maybe my man David, also Alex, and maybe we tried to get him on he tried to get on last Monday, but don't know what happened. My guess because he hadn't been on here for so long, it was some technical difficulties, and that's my man Keith. I'd love to get his viewpoints, and also I've added some ladies, so I'm hoping they give me a response. But pretty much me and him are kind of busy, or just don't want to say nothing. That's cool. And now they're sitting waiting on the I think just doing some tallying for the Masters. So I'm just waiting right now. Just here. So Hank the Tank, hey, brother, thank you for coming through. So still just waiting. It's the thing. I don't know how, it's one. You ever been to a show live? I have been to a couple. It's just a totally different thing compared to when you watch it on pay-per-view. At least you have somebody sit and talk with you, say, "Hey, young man, what's going on?" Yeah. So I'm sitting here waiting. Right now, I think they're still maybe tallying the votes from.
Boys backstage. Sorry, guys. We kind of like that once in a while. So we get three chances for that.
So they're still kind of just uh. So something going on backstage. Either you know they're trying to get all the ladies up and ready. You shouldn't, because some of the ladies who are not doing the masters, there's like quite a few ladies who are not doing masters. So at least I think there's at least about over 20 women, and I would say just about half done the masters. Here we go. And I'm surprised Jenny Feldman didn't do the Masters. My guess she feel like she doesn't want to do it. Um, this is kind of like this, some of the ladies who are starting. These are a lot of bodies. So I'm gonna pull up here. In the center right now, we have. If you look at the center, we got Marika Jones. She has look like she has a center. This is just I think the comparison round where they just look at you. Also, there's Jamie Steinhauser right there, right beside Marika. We have here Alex Lowry, Jean Hai Lee, Jody Munchuk, who won it last year. Also, Linka Farakova, and we have Jeannie Feldman. So some ladies would say they don't want to do masters because they feel like, but Jenny, I think she should think about it. But she's still impressive. She's been to Olympia at least 3 or 4 times in her career as a physique competitor. But for the looks of it, I feel like that most definitely I feel like Marika's gonna take this. I think she's gonna, they have her in the center when they come in, but that's just for starting. They don't start moving around till later. They're just checking out the competitors, and then they come back and do individuals. So mostly what they're doing is taking the women who wasn't in the masters part and judging them first, you know, and then they take a next group of women who are doing open, and see, like they have at least see we have here. Uh, no, I think that's Jamie. No, who's the other chick? We have Brooke Piggin. So that's Jamie here. These are some of the ladies who just did the masters part here. Go put it real quick. We have here, if you look, we have okay, that's Jamie right there. That's okay. Brooke Piggin, Shay Queen. Who's that other chick? I forgot her name. Tiffany Walker. And we have here the chick from Mexico, Natalia, and also Christine Dresco. These are the ladies. They're going to mix some of the ladies from the Masters port in this group, so they can see how to compare to the open ladies who are doing open. You know, and look impressive. I think the good thing that Jade took in, she needs to like pull your hair a button sometimes. You know, but very impressive. Ladies. You know. Shea Cream looks really good. Like I said, it's been a while since she competed. Here, who's in now? This is just the comparison round. Yes, you don't do call outs yet. And then you have some of the other ladies from the Masters and one of the other ladies. They kind of mixing up a little bit. So, more, Jasmine. Alrighty. So we just pretty much have the same ladies that just did the Masters earlier, doing this part, doing I call it's the early comparison. You have Tracy, you have Miss Dolly, Natalie, Natty, Carol, Renee, Blanca, the chick from Mexico, and Trish. So they're already done the Masters part. They're probably going to run through them real quick and then send them on their way. They just want to see how they compare, because they should have mixed them a little with the other ladies too, because you can get a good some look of how they compare But then they do that when they do the call outs. That's going to be later on. They're going to do individuals next and then do call outs. Okay. So we have here coming out is Jenny Feldman. And Jenny looks really good. You know, she you know, see pull up Jenny here. And I think all right. She's pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, between like I said, Jeannie is probably one of the one ladies who maybe had a strong contendership, but like I said, the Satchon man, Hank the Tank. I said, rooting for Jenny. She's great. Yeah, yeah, she is great. I mean, I'm surprised she's doing. I'm surprised she's doing this show. Because qualifications. She could have done Texas or done Atlanta, but I guess and I'm surprised she didn't do Tampa like she usually does. Next up here, we have here is who's that? That's Linka Fronkova, and Linka, she's I think ooh she looks decent, but I don't know, her conditioning from the back wasn't that good. You can really see she's a bit on the soft side. I think I think Linka might would consider, calling it a day. Uh, that was quick. Who's this up here next? That is, I believe, is that? Oh yeah, I think that's Jamie. Yeah, it looks like it's Jamie. I'm not sure of it. Yeah, I think it is Jamie. This is Jamie's pro debut. Or it could be no. It's Jamie. I'm trying to get the names, but if they're going by order, it might be another girl. I might be wrong because I'm not listening but she looks really impressive. Wait a minute, wait a second. Um, all right. Who's next up here? No, it's not Jamie. She just lays short hair. Uh, I think it's I know it's Regina Garcia. I didn't have because when she was on the list, I didn't have a picture or a name for her, so I didn't know who she was at first. So that's Regina Garcia. She's on the list, but I didn't post her because what I do now, I'm not gonna. If I don't have a picture, I can't find a picture or name on somebody, I'm not gonna post you. So that's the new thing now I'm gonna do. But here she comes, the Iron Woman herself. I get to, hey, guys, you got to the Iron Woman herself. Marika Jones. Marika looks amazing, and this is from doing 6 shows and back to back, and she is. I mean, she's holding her own. I mean, this is possibly. This is possibly she. I feel Marika's going to win this. No offense to any other ladies, but I feel like this is Marika's show. This is her show. She's like I said, I know after she did Texas, I thought she was going to shut it down, but then she decided to change her mind and do this show. She like I mean she did an interview with man Glenn, and she announced that she was changing up. Next up, we have Nicole. Is Nicole? She made her pro debut. Just I believe just it's Chicago. She was going to debut at um Ultima, but I she told me I think I was following on social media. She said she couldn't make it. So yeah, I'm doing some technical difficulties pop up. Sometimes these streams go funny on me. So if Raheem Hamilton is here, congratulations to Raheem. I think he got married last month. You know, if Raheem Hamilton was here, he'd pick on me and say, "I got that Keith Williams Wi-Fi." What's going on? It's live, but I think I lost connection. Or it could be one of those programs that if they know I'm not streaming, they sometimes they do these anti-streaming programs now. But it should be popping up. Where we have here is Alexis Lowry. So we missed whoever was after her because I think there was someone in between these two. And Alexis, she's a young competitor. She last competed at Texas, and you know, uh, she's very impressive. I think she may need more size, just a little bit. As you look at the division now, how it's evolved over the years. Shout out to our man Hank the Tank. He says this. You might be right, George. Marika looks like a strong contender for the win. I think she is. It's not, she, like I said, I think taking that time off and, maybe just, re-energize the opportunity we have here. Up next is Jody Marchuk, who won the show last year. And truthfully, I was surprised she won it. Um, I feel like she's not going to do too well, especially you have people like Jenny, Tracy, Natalia, Marika, at least about two other women. I think she might not fare as well like she did last year, and I was kind of surprised. I was rooting for Alex Hall, and and I think also, Alex just needed to come in better condition. But this is the only show she's done because, as you know, this year the Legion's Pro has dropped Women's Physique from its lineup, and now it's only a few shows for the out west for physique competitors, counting the Rising Phoenix and there's Texas, and that's about it. Because Triple O doesn't have Women's Physique anymore because they don't have a sponsor. Next up, we have here that is that's Jamie. That's Jamie. Yeah, that's Jamie. Jamie, this is her pro debut. She was really good. I mean, Jamie turned pro back in 2024. She actually turned pro in the women's physique and women's bodybuilding. I interviewed her just what's it? I think it was the end of the year we did the interview, and she's impressive. I mean, she to me honestly fits the criteria. It could be a possibility that Jamie can crack the top 10. We have my man KL. He says this out to him coming through. He says, "Nice, yeah, thank you, brother. Yeah, nice. Yeah, there's some nice and lovely ladies here. They all look really good, represent themselves in the division. Jamie looks really good. I think she kind of reminds me a little bit in upper body, of Paula Ranta. Paul didn't have breast implants. You know, we have is Brooke Piggott. Brooke, she last competed at Texas, and she's on the taller side. And that thing is, I think if you're a taller woman, I think it's harder for I would say you kind of fit the criteria for the division, but because when they're pushing the division, the look is being pushed. Like you look at Sarah. Sarah's not that tall, but she's not that short either. Brooke's really tall. She's at least about 5'8", 5'9", and if her condition is really good, better than what it's at Texas, just need more fullness and size. That's the point. She has great abs. I know my man David. He says she had great abs. She does, but she's still a bit on the bit on the lean side, especially if you're going to compete at the level like people like Summer Benta and also Natalia Cuejo. We have here Shea Queen. She's lovely, dark chocolate sister. I mean, she's good friends with Michaela Aycock. She used to hang with Michaela when at the shows. She's from Florida. Shea Queen. She last competed last year at Tupelo. Good shape, good conditioning. Um, I could see her making the top 10. She looks really good. From the back, she looks really good. Good condition of glutes. I mean, like I said again, I love my chocolate sisters. I love them. They're just beautiful. It's just a beautiful combination of the complexion and the muscle. It's just a special thing about that. Um, so we have who's next after that. Uh, Next up, we have here is who's that? Trying to see. No, I think this is Jamie. Who's the other girl? I'm not getting confused. I think who was the other girl? I'm not getting confused. I think this is Jamie. But who's the other girl? There was, I think, it was one of the other girls from what's the face. So I think this is Jamie. So who's the other girl? I gotta go back to the list and check it out. I think this is Jamie right here. It's like, who was the girl I was looking at? I thought she was Jamie. Oh, I forget. I feel it's one of those names that's hard for me to pronounce. Uh, you know, but Jamie's pretty good. This is Jamie's pro debut. Who's the other girl? I gotta track it back. I think this is Jamie. I'm telling you, some of these ladies about to look so much alike. But Jamie's impressive. This is her first show. Um, who's next on the list? Let's see. We have the lovely Miss Tiffany Walker. She I know last time we interviewed, she said she was going to retire after this year, but now she's qualified for the Masters Olympia, and because she won the Masters title at Atlanta, and she took third at the in the Women's Open. And that's pretty good. She was a figure competitor. She's our coach and trainer. Served our country. I said, "Now say thank you for your service." I said, "Sis, I appreciate the sacrifice you have made for his country." Impressive lady, impressive physique. Um, she was really good. Like I said, I love my chocolate sisters. You know, different varieties of chocolate. You have someone like Mariko's kind of like a mocha. Maybe a little bit caramel is like my man Jerome might say. And you have someone like Shea Queen, who's kind of like dark chocolate, and you have Tracy Tiffany's kind of like good old fashioned chocolate, milk chocolate. You know, melt in your palms, not in your hands. Melt in your mouth, not, melt in your mouth, not in your hands. They're about to do the call outs. So, these were just the first presentation. Then we have to do the call outs. As you know, there's a lot of ladies, so I think they might just, pick a handful here, because some of the ladies already done. When they do the finals, when they come out to the finals, they're just gonna rush some of the ladies through because they are who already did the masters part, and then top 10 competitors, just are the ones who do their posing. You know, so we're gonna see who is going to be in the first call outs. So here we go. So first call outs are here. So we have Uh, we have Tracy, Dolly, Marika, Natalia. The other lady whose name I thought was Jamie was not. Tiffany, Jody, Jenny, and let's see, and they're gonna switch them because that's what they usually do. Um, so Miss Dolly's getting out in the end, and you're getting wait, the other chick's getting oh oh wait oh 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 what Rika, oh wow. So, what? Oh, whoa! Oh my God! My heart! Oh, whoa! They just put Marika out at the end. What the? What the? What? Oh, Marika! Oh, Marika! Oh, whoa! I was certain. Shit. That means Marika might place this other chick who it's between Jenny and this other chick. Let me forget her name. I know I posted. It's not Jamie. Who is that other chick? She's. I'm gonna look real quick, guys, at who she is. Uh, I got the Rising Phoenix list. Uh, let's see. Let's see. See. It was let's go. It's not Hedriff. Oh, Sarah Quill or Sarah Missick. That's Sarah Missick or Sarah or somebody knows Sarah Quill. So it looks like Sarah Quill might be going to the Olympia. Yeah, I just like I said, I didn't recognize because she used to have a hair in a bun sometimes. But Marika's on the outside, and it looks like they put Jenny and Sarah Creel in the center, and it looks like Sarah Creel. Wait a minute. They're just right now. They're just going to get rid of Sarah and Jenny. They're putting those two out, and also they put out Tiffany. So this is going to be who's going to probably get in the top 10. And I'm kind of I mean, I know and I think I'll pick up another competitor to fill a spot. Uh, he says, who's the blonde with the blue bikini? I didn't catch her name. That's Sarah Missick, or you might know her as Sarah Quill. Quill. I just didn't recognize because sometimes she has her hair in a bun, and she didn't have the hair bun this time. So it looks like Sarah Missick or Sarah Quill is going to the Olympia. Marika, I mean, and this is just the ladies to finish off I believe, the top 10. So this is kind of like second call outs. And Marika is probably going to be either eighth or ninth. Oh, she should have skipped this. I mean, I think she should skip the show. I mean, I know, I, you know, oof, I mean, that's tough. I mean, I like Marika. I genuinely do. She's been a guest on my channel a couple of times, but it looks like Marika is not going to the Olympia. It looks like it's going to be Sarah Missick or better known as Sarah Creel. So wow. So yeah. So then we have here. This is going to be, I believe, third call outs because so many women. You know, we have here is Blanca. I think she's in third. The two ladies from Mexico. Uh, I think they got a couple more ladies. Wait a minute, who else? I got to pull them down a little bit. Also, Linka Fernikova. Wait till they try to piece them together. Trish, Regina, Jihad Lee, and Jamie. I believe this is third call outs. You know, and looks like Sarah Creel might be going to the Olympia and is swapping out. Look like they're moving. Uh, you know, they're moving Jamie, and they're moving out Nina Saldivar, uh, Jay Haley, and Linka on the outside, and it looks like probably maybe Blanca finished out the top 15. So but the one that I say is a shocker to me is Marika Jones. Damn, I just didn't really pay attention. I didn't really think that. So Sarah Krill or Sarah Misick that's her married name. She's going to be going to the Olympia. So and she's young. I think she's in her early 20s. And I looked at her. If you look at her upper body, she kind of reminds you a bit of Paula Ransom without the implants. The wider shoulder stance. She got her pro card at a show where Tracy did, and I remember I was watching the video somebody sent to me. Tracy was Tracy's husband. He was booing. They're moving him around, so they moved. They just moved. So it looks like they moved out Blanca, and they kind of put Trish a bit in the center. So and this is like I said, so Trish might be hitting the top 15. You know, um, but again, I'm still shocked by what happened with Marika. You know, Jamie looks pretty good. Regina, who I thought was, I should have paid attention to the hair just because I remember she was on the list, but I didn't have a picture to find for her, so I just didn't put her name. But I just kind of forgot about her. But yeah, and Sarah Creel I hadn't seen in a while. Usually she has her hair in a bun, but this time she had her hair down, so I wasn't sure who she was at first. To because she goes by her married name, Sarah Misick or whatever. I think it's Misick or whatever how you pronounce it, but she goes by Sarah Creel. So guys, when I'm done, these are the ladies that finish out. I think the bottom because you have Brooke. I think she was one of the last girls, and you have Regina, Nina, and Jahai. These are going to finish out the bottom of the list. So I mean, Brooke. I think she's either going to be at the very bottom. I think the thing with Brooke, she's tall, and that's the thing that hurts you. Looks like Jay Hai Lee's got swapped out with Nina. So I think it's going to be the next bottom to the last going to be Brooke Piggin and Jay Hai Lee. And and I think Linka, I don't know, she should have just not competed this year. If you're not going to come in your best condition, especially this is the last qualifier, one of the last qualifiers, or you should have just did the show in Germany. I don't know. I think Linka lives here in the States. You know, either that or she sometimes I think I remember somebody mentioned say she does live here in the States, and she was living in Czech Republic for a good while, but I think after she won her first couple of Olympias, she decided to move to the States, and you can really see on an expression on her face that she's not too happy. The one chick, don't do that. The one chick, Regina, don't hold your boobs up when you do the ab and thigh. Put them behind your head. I mean, that was something that I think this is like next to last. Yeah, this is I think this is really the next to last call outs. The rest of the ladies, I think, what is this? Is this placing for I thought yeah, this is yeah. This is next to last call outs. This is the very last call out. So that was next to last. This is the very last call out. You have Renee, Natalie, you have Shea Queen, Christine, Carol, Nicole, and Alex Lowry. And these are the dead last ladies. This is the last and final call out. And so well, it's pretty good. You got Christine on one side, You have Nelly on the other side. I thought Nelly should be a little closer, but I guess her she's kind of a short side, and you know Renee's holding her own. Carol looks really good, especially from the back. No, and Shea Queen looks really good too. And so there's Nicole. You know, thing with Nicole and Alex, they're kind of the smaller side when it comes to winning PD. They, but Alex has always been, because she's competed about every year. But maybe this might be the year to next year to take the year off and grow a little bit and bring in conditioning. That's important about it. So uh, the it looks like it's a showdown. We have here a three-way showdown, folks. We have a three-way showdown. I thought it was done, but we have a three-way showdown. We have Tiffany Walker, Sarah Misek, and also Jenny Feldman. So it looks like it could be Jenny in second, Sarah in first, and Tiffany now cracking the top three in her second show this year. So but we know um, most definitely, Sarah is going to the Olympia. You know, so you know, so part of me is kind of I was really rooting for Marika. But it happens. The judges are looking for something, and like I said, with Sarah, she's much younger, just in her, I think she's in her late 20s, almost early 30s. Marika, she does come in great physique, come in great shape, but I think they look for a particular look, and Sarah is going to win this show. You know, I think. Wait! They just did a switch. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, fellas. Wait a minute. They just did a switch. They switched Jenny and Sarah. So Jenny's in the center. I don't, really just see how it looks because sometimes they do this. I remember when Marika was telling me how when they were at the Optima, they had them up there for more than 10 minutes just posing. It was her, uh, Paul Aranta, uh, Rachel Daniels, and I think it was Anna Prince. And right now, just trying to see who's going to go. Jenny's been before, and this might be Sarah's first time, but excuse me, uh, West Face is really close. She's really close. You know, I think if there was another show for Tiffany Walker, maybe she can get qualification for the Olympia. But like I said, the other show was in over in Germany. We had enough time. She couldn't do like Marika. But I think it's really close. So wait a minute. Wait. They did it again. I don't know what these judges are doing. You know, they not just yet. Uh, not just yet. It says Jenny for the win. Not just yet. They just moved Tiffany. Shout out to my man Hank the Tank says, not my personal choice, but I whatever. I understand, brother. But they just switching again. These judges, they are looking for a particular look. Now, I still think it's Sarah going to go. If Jenny goes, cool. If Tiffany could, that's great. I mean, it's great. Having the lady had a guest on my channel going to Olympia. You know, but I think it's really tight. I think it's really tight. Sarah, she's much younger. She has a good definition, good width at the upper body. Um, I think it's the thing that's holding her in this top three spot is that she has a great upper body, good width. Ooh. Well, guys, I'm going to take a little. Usually I don't do this, but I'm gonna take a little break. So you're gonna look at the other guy for a minute. I'll be right back. Okay, fellas, I'm back, and they're bringing out women's bodybuilding. Uh, all ladies look great. You know, they look amazing here. Uh, we have here, as you know, it's only five ladies, and you have the the lovely Miss Michelle Brandt, Natalia Kobelev. Wow, didn't realize how big Amanda is. She's taller, just a little bit taller than um Andrea. Andrea and Nicole. I mean, sorry, Monica, But I just realized, wow, how big Amanda is. She is just a little bit taller. You can look at the shoulder height. She's just a little bit taller than Andrea. But conditioning has to be Andrea out the gate, no question. Andrea's condition is just crazy. But Amanda, she still has a way to go. This is her pro debut. And she's gonna go to Olympia because there are only five ladies. And unless, like I said, no, nothing against the lovely Miss Brent, and nothing against the lovely Miss Vega, Mrs. Vega, Miss Brent. It looks like we're gonna bring back. They're gonna go off right now because it's gonna be quick because only five ladies, so it's gonna be quick. I think first person gonna come out is Mrs. Michelle Brent. Um, you know, so yeah, it's her. She is, I call her one of the last true female bodybuilders. There are no other women. There's only a handful of women, counting herself, Patty Corbett, Helen Trevino, Irene Anderson, and I think I would say Virginia Sanchez, who's earned their pro card exclusively in women's bodybuilding, who's turned pro in women's bodybuilding. All the others have like Amanda. She actually competed at nationals in both women's body and physique, but under a pro card in physique. Natalia, I think she was originally doing physique for a good bit, then switched to women's bodybuilding. And I think same thing with Monica Vega. And also you can't forget that Andrea also started out in figure, then went to women's physique, and then she after her pro debut, she switched to women's bodybuilding. But I'm a fan of Miss Michelle. I hope we can have her back on and give her thoughts about what's going on. Next up is, if my man Raheem Hamilton was here, his girl, you know, Natalia Kobelev. Natalia, you know what? She looks really good, I would say. I mean, I follow on social media. I posted one of her videos in my stories. She posted it back. One thing you really notice about Natalia. I mean, okay. She's smiling a bit. She looks really good. Her coach is Dennis James. Dennis James. He's promoting the Europa Championship out in Germany. But yeah, she looks really good. I mean, she is going to get a pro card. And also tomorrow, her, Ashley, Angela, and Andrea are going to do like a little battle together. It usually just be the top three competitors, but now we all know why, because guys. But she's really good. She's just a little decent. She's the last couple of years she gets invited to shows, she drops out. And now this year, because now not a competition, opportunity, she's doing a show. And now since they made it top three competitors, it's something not stirring the Kool-Aid, man. Not stirring the Kool-Aid. But she looks really good. I mean, she's conditions a little better. I mean, one thing again is the boobs. They cannot take away from the aesthetic of the physique. You're trying to pay a lot more attention to the overall physique, but you can't help but look at those things. We have next is Amanda Santos. Amanda, she's a lovely young lady. I hope we have her back on. She can talk about her experience. I didn't think she was that tall when she was, and look at her. Wow, Amanda's amazing. Just got to come in maybe a little more conditioned and just a little more size. She can hold her own. She belongs in women's bodybuilding. I don't see her doing physique, but there's some physique competitors who are right around her. I mean, look at that. She's doing a kind of a crab pose variation. We guys, we love that. Not enough ladies do that in bodybuilding. Some because they say it's too masculine, but she looks really good. I think, to me, I think she's going to do well. Uh, it's just, I think, just she's still young. I think she's just in her ooh, early 30s, late 20s, and she has a good amount of size. Just got to come in just a little tighter and just a little more size. And she just did, guys. I saw it was quick. She did a crab pose. You can catch it. Somebody else probably show it, but she did a crab pose. You know. Next up is the champ herself, my girlfriend. I know, but she is beautiful. This is the woman who I honestly would say she saved women's bodybuilding when she came in and she won that title back in 2020. She saved the division. Shout out to my man Hank the Tank. He says, "Wow, Amanda is holding her own. I'm impressed for her pro debut." Yes. Got to bring her up here. Yeah, I'm impressed too, Hank. We have here Andrea, and just we know she's gonna win. She just want to get back her title. But as you know, it's no longer the women's bodybuilding world championship anymore. But I got to give it this. She did step up where others hadn't. I got to give it to Andrea. Well, all the others didn't want to compete. They could have said because they were afraid of, but come on. But I think mostly because the incentives they used to have are not there anymore for women's bodybuilding. That's not an excuse. When you do a show, any other pro qualifier, where you don't get incentives from them, not from, didn't almost have women's bodybuilding at Tampa. So you telling me now? I mean, but again, I get why, because they feel like that's something they I won't say they earned or owed or deserved, but the physique division came out and they never, all the years they competed and never got incentives. But Jake is a businessman. He has to focus on the whole of the business. But Andrea looks amazing. I mean, you know, And last and surely not least, we have the lovely Senorita Monica Vega coming up. She is the last, as you know, only 5 ladies. Like I said, this was going to be I know it was going to, hoping more bodies. I maybe thought maybe somebody could jump in the last minute. Maybe Jake, he said, "Hey, you want to jump in the show?" Give you, but no. And and don't expect next year. Come on, you know. But again, the cost of travel. But this is one of the few shows. But I bet you anything. Wow, Monica looks amazing. She could possibly. I don't know. If her conditioning is better, I think her conditioning might be just better than Amanda's. So this could be, I'm looking at it right now. She took some time off because she I think competed with Chicago. And I remember we were talking. She said she wanted to do another show, but the cost of travel was too much. But now she has the Rising Phoenix in her backyard. She done the show the Anaheim Grand Prix. She done last year in her backyard. She lives in California. So that's a lot more closer than anything, Anaheim. But yeah, she looks really good. I mean, good width. Conditioning could be a little tighter because but she is a much mature woman, and it's hard to maintain that level of conditioning when you are over 40. Like you look at Andrea. Andrea is 42. I think she's gonna be 43 this year, and and it's to hold that level of muscle, especially when you're in your half century mark of age. I'm gonna say half century mark. I'm gonna be 51 in November. But Monica looked good. She might could. All depending on how the judges go. Right now, they just finished the individual posers, and then they're gonna do the call out, because you only have one call out because they don't have any other competitors. And she's still posing. Quick. We got enough time to pull it up here. She looks, like I said, Monica is really squeezing the time out there. So yeah. So we're going to come back in a bit and do the final call out, which is, this is only have one call out because we only have 5 competitors. So we're going to see how it's going to, we already know who's going to be a center. Right. So here we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Now this is how it looks now. And is this the so wait a minute. Wait a minute. Yep. So there it goes. So we have Andrea, if you know, winning. We have, I would say, Natalia taking second, Amanda taking third, fourth is Monica, and fifth is the lovely Mrs. Brent. It was no doubt it's going to be, so they might move it around, but I doubt it. I think this is it. There's no point moving around unless they take in, I don't think they're gonna move it around. So there's no point, you know. But I think conditioning is going to be always on Andrea's side. Size, I would say I give it a bit to Amanda, but slightly some might get a little more to Natalia. So and you know, well, all these look impressive. I think here we're gonna pull this up real quick. They're doing their mandatory poses. All these look good. Wait for station to having thigh. And I think it is. Wait a minute. They're doing some more posing because sometimes I hold you up there. Here's my man, bodybuilding fan 101. He says, I see Andrea, Natalia, then Monica top three. I don't know. Monica does look good, but I think the judges have settled with who they want for top three, and that looks like it's going to be Natalia, Amanda, and Andrea. You're coming in as the current Miss Olympia champ. You've been 4-time champion of this show before, and like I said, yeah. But I think we might see Monica do the show at Anaheim. Hope she does well. I saw I think Christina Mendoza is going to do the show at Anaheim. Maybe Patty Hansen, because I think she should. Patty Hansen, that's a show out to the west. Some of you ladies who live out west complain there's no shows for us out west. Now you have at least two. Technically, Ride Things was always out west, but because it was invitational, it was an opportunity for anybody to do it. But now it's an open show. That means you have a show out in the west. You can't use the excuse that there's no show for us out west. But all these look really good. I think it's just that Andrea's conditioning is just on point. And we get to see her before the Olympia. And it's a wrap. Fellas, the ladies have done their deed. And prejudging is not till I think later, and now it's the other divisions that I care little enough. Wellness is up, so I am done. There's no point to waste my time on wellness. It's not. I'm intrigued by it, but I'm not interested in it. My predictions. Well, from the looks of it, when it comes to the Masters, it's between Tracy and Natalia Bastrova. It could be Tracy, could be Natalia. For women's bodybuilding, we all know Andrea is going to win, and to finish out the top two is going to be Andrea, and it's going to be Natalia and Amanda. For the open women's physique, Sarah Mystic or Sarah Krill, you might know her as. So this is going to be possibly her first. I'm kind of like bummed that Marika she's not in the top 5. I think she's 6th or 7th. So, or maybe 8th. That's like when she did Olympia, got in 7th place, but then did the Atlantic Coast and got 11th. So, she should have just I know you're feeling it, but I think there was maybe you should just wait No, I wouldn't have done Atlantic Coast either. Knowing Natalia's there, you know you're not gonna get a chance to get to Olympia. But I think I heard somebody say Natalia might be doing that show in Mexico. So if she's doing that show in Mexico, that's open opportunity at the Atlantic Coast. I gotta see how those shows, what the dates of the show, because she might try to do both, and that's super sick. Anyway, folks, I will come back around about. Let's see, it's already three, and there's 3 o'clock. It's gonna be around about, I would say 7 o'clock for me here. We'll jump on here around 7. Shout out to my man Hank the Tank. Shout out to my man B Bodybuilding Fan 01. Shout out to my man KL the Wanderer coming through. Um, watch this video. Watch it again. Tell me how I do. Let me know. I'm planning on maybe doing this one for the Olympia because I know originally I was going to have a guest on here with me, but she couldn't make it because she had other plans. As, we were already talking about before, but then plans happen, things come up, so we had to change it. So, she would have it. We'll probably do. We were talking. We might do because she lives out west. I'm not giving nobody these names yet because she lives out west, and that'd be a lot more convenient to do that. We can do a live for the Olympia because it's out west. It's closest for her. It works with her time zone and works just good with mine because it'll be in the afternoon for the show. It'll be early morning for her. She should be up and ready. So, but again, I thank you, my brothers. Thank you for supporting me, and all the best to you. This man always George Page, aka the Emperor of Human Body Talk. Come back. I'll be back here around about 7 for the finals, and we'll see who is now going to Olympia and who is going to Master Olympia. Take care. Goodbye, and Godspeed.